Greetings, viewers. The day has come. Dad is just outside. The truck literally just got finished. I just got back from the alignment shop. I just picked up Dad. We're leaving tomorrow morning. Talk about cutting it close. Anyway, let's bring Dad in and let him see the truck for the first time and get his reaction, see what he thinks of what happened to the truck he gave me 3 years ago. We are ready.
We're ready, huh?
We're ready when you are.
All right. I've been waiting to see this, I'll tell you.
Yeah. I've been waiting to show it to you.
Better be careful, I might want to drive it home.
You can if you want.
No, I wouldn't do that.
I wouldn't be opposed to it. I mean, you'd have to give up the Subaru, but...
Yeah. She looks familiar, but I like the stance.
Yeah.
I like the exhaust too, that's cool. Very cool.
Just got put on this morning, like literally this morning.
I like that, looks good.
Yeah, I mean, he made art with that. I did everything up to the muffler, and then my friends at Flowtech Exhaust, they did the over the axle and out the side. I wanted dual pipes, but there isn't a whole lot of room on the driver's side.
with a gas tank, and that doesn't leave you any room.
Exactly, so I just said, you know what? Taking both pipes coming out this side, it's still quote-unquote dual exhaust. It's single coming out of the engine anyway. It goes into a 3-inch pipe. And actually it comes out of the engine and goes into a catalytic converter.
Cool.
It's a little bitty one. You have to look to see it.
Yeah.
But it is a catalytic converter. It's not the monster that was on there before.
Very cool.
But it goes from that into an exhaust cutout, which is kind of the reason why it rattles. Every exhaust cut rattles if you've ever messed with it. And then after that it goes down into the muffler, which has two 2.5-inch pipes coming out of it, which you see that terminate here. Yeah. I also put the hitch back on. And I put the spare tire back underneath there. We're going on a long trip.
Yeah, just in case for some reason you need something.
Just in case. But also when they did the exhaust, I wanted to be able to have that on there. So
yeah, know where it fits and everything.
So there's still the option. There's still the option to take it off, but anyway. All right, well, the suspension is where I started, and the brakes. You got rear disc brakes now.
Yeah.
373 gears in the rear.
Yeah, I was wondering what the ratio was. I thought you said 373s.
Yeah. And it's got a monster transmission 4L60E, so it's electronic, and also
electronic with overdrive.
Yeah,
yeah, that's what they use.
You don't have to switch the switch underneath the dash.
Don't have to do that anymore. I don't have to reach down.
It is a true automatic dash.
Oh, jeez.
But not only that, but we could change the shift point, and I'll show you the shift button that you also have, so you can change the attitude of the transmission with a push of a button.
That sounds cool.
Right? Well, come on, let's check it out.
Like the wheels. Now, what size are you had? 15s originally.
These are 15s. These went up to 17s.
17s.
But the overall wheel circumference or diameter is the same.
Yeah.
So I just made the wheel bigger inside the tire, so there's less tire that you see. Really wanted white letter tires because I like the look of what you had. To me, this truck is not only a tribute to you, but a tribute to the 80s when it was made. Even though it's 1990, it's still technology of the 80s and that kind of thing. And I wanted to sort of stick with that look, so the American racing wheels are kind of what I went with. It's similar to what you had on the beginning.
Centerline, I think they were called the originals on them.
Yeah, they could have. Well, I don't know. Either way,
I think that's the style. It was like a
Centerline. I wanted to keep that look, so the truck looked period correct, but I wanted to bring some things into the 21st century.
Oh, it looks very good.
Yeah,
it's good seeing it again.
Yeah,
it's been a while.
It has.
Looks like a lot of different things inside too here.
Oh yeah.
New wheel, new gauges. Different radio.
Yep. New stereo.
With actually push buttons on it. Yeah.
Yeah, it works. And there's none of this gobbledygook under the dash or anything. It also has hands-free for your Bluetooth. Like you can hook your phone up to it and have phone conversations just by talking. There's a microphone right up here.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I've got Bluetooth on the other one. I use that on the way down.
Yeah, Bluetooth hands-free, and you've got a couple of new buttons. You can get in it. You're going to be living in this.
I'm afraid to.
You know how it works? It just works a little different than it used to, is all it is.
Well, it still fits my butt. Still got Dad's old tape.
Yes. There were a lot of things that I left in the truck that I felt needed to stay there.
Yeah.
And things that I felt needed to be changed. And one of those things was those gauges.
Yep.
I didn't like those weird, goofy gauges.
No, I didn't either, but that was, like you say, that's an 80s, 90s thing that they had.
Right, they were all about their buttons and strangeness.
Those look great. That's really turned out nice.
Yeah, and it's got its own, I put separate turn signal lights, those green lights that are up there.
Yeah.
And also there's the red light down below is for parking brake. So if you leave the parking brake on accidentally, that'll give you a nice bright red light to let you know that.
Oh, that's a good idea.
This, as long as we're going over buttons, this is new stuff. This is the dimmer for the gauges, which really doesn't matter because this dimmer also still works, the one with the headlight switch.
Okay.
So I've just got it turned up all the way bright because they're red. This is that transmission switch that I told you about. So if you hold this down for 3 seconds, it'll change to red, this ring around the outside, and then it's in a, well, we'll call it a sport mode.
Sport mode, okay.
For the transmission. Gauge is pretty self-explanatory, other than this one's your air fuel down here, kind of like mine, which you kind of don't really have to pay attention to, and that's transmission temperature up above that.
Okay.
Everything else is just your volts, ohms, and all that stuff. And then tach's over here next to the speedo.
Now, tach and speedo together, looks like it's got a GPS.
It does. You can actually do quarter-mile times with that, and in fact, that lump on the dash over there,
Okay.
that is your speedometer.
All right.
And know that when you go through a tunnel, the speedometer will go down to 0.
But you're actually still moving.
You're still moving.
Okay.
It's not like time stopped or anything like that.
Oh, good to know. Glad you told me that.
Right. And then another new button over here,
Yep.
that is your cooling fans. And even with the truck off, and that'll turn them both on. But whenever you're in traffic and you've got the AC on, turn that on.
Okay.
And that'll help keep the AC working better, you know, like when you turn.
Right.
But if you're driving down the road, you don't really have to worry about the AC because this thing runs so stinking cool. This thing runs probably about, I'd say, 170, if that.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, yeah.
That's
like
down good.
Wait till
Yeah.
you see the radiator. You wonder how I ever got it in there, but it's the biggest one you can get for one of these trucks. This is your exhaust cutout. So
Okay.
if you roll into the fairgrounds or whatever and you want to be seen.
Want to make a little noise?
Yeah, you just, it's a momentary switch. So all you really have to do is pull it over to, I believe, pull it inward, and that opens it. And just click it once like that.
Yep.
And it'll open. And then when you want it to close, you just click it
go
the
the other
opposite way, and it closes. So in other words, you don't need to hold the switch in order
Right.
for it to
Right. Just have to click it to get
activate.
it started.
Yeah, you just have to click it. So it's
Looks
pulled
like-
on one side of the other. Radio, it's pretty self-explanatory. It works kind of like the old one did. But it comes with new speakers. So it's new speakers in the dash, new speakers by your head. I didn't get the one with satellite radio, but you can get them with satellite radio. Whole new shifter.
I was going to say, you really cleaned it up.
No, no, that
I
one
thought, boy, you really polished that up.
No, it was really worn out is what it was. And it was
Yeah.
never really connected properly. This one, look, you actually got a light in there now.
Yeah, the other one didn't have a light in it.
No, I did it right. So that works, unlike your other one that didn't quite work, but you know, you pulled up the
Yeah.
T-handle, you put it in drive, and then you can ratchet it down 3 times.
Right.
And then if you want to bang the
Yeah,
gears,
if you want to bang the gears to go up,
you go
yeah.
up, 1, 2, 3, 4 is what you got. And then that tablet sitting up there, that can come off. It's just held on by magnets right now.
Okay.
So that you can access the engine computer and the transmission computer with that. And I can make it display gauges and other stuff with the engine management system, something like that. So that's basically the interface with the
You
engine.
brought it up into this century, that's for sure.
Right? And look up above you.
Oh.
Right?
I saw, and I hadn't noticed that yet. I saw when you had the one of your Instagrams that it was shiny when you had it out. Mm-hmm. I saw that the headliner was out, and I thought, well, good, at least it's out. But now you got a new one in besides. That's great.
I didn't realize it was plastic till it came in, but I don't hate it.
Yeah.
And I also, while I was in there, there's some insulation up in here.
Yeah. That gives you a little sound.
A little bit of sound, but also a little bit of heat. It is a black truck after all.
Right.
Yeah, I was
very cool.
actually kind of happy with how that turned out. That was all that. This happened because I wanted to run this wire for the hands-free
Okay.
up into here. So in order to get this trim down,
You got to take that
you
out.
got to pretty much take everything down. And by
Everything
that
out,
time, the headliner's just about out. So I wasn't planning on doing anything with it because I didn't feel like I had the time, but it was
Once you
falling
get
down.
started, yeah.
It was falling down by the time I ran that wire. So I said, "What the heck?"
Yep. And I had the windshield new when I got it because I told the guy it had a chip, and I says, I'll take it, but you got to put a windshield in it. So he put a windshield when I got it. Looks great. I mean, looks really great.
Yeah, I'm sorry I didn't have time to wash it, but I did wash and rain-x your windshield. So,
Okay.
And it's got brand new wiper blades. So when that rain does come that we're going to run into, you'll be just fine.
Yeah, I think it's going to get washed anyway, one way or the other
One
on
way
the
or
way
the
down.
other.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just I just simply ran out of time with it.
I don't know how it's going to react. It's actually going home.
What's that? Oh yeah,
Came from Charlotte.
that's right. The
Came
Dale
from
Earnhardt.
Newton, North Carolina.
The Dale. You know what? I want to see because I wonder if
It came from the Earnhardt dealership, which I don't even know if it's there anymore. But the sticker, which is very faded, was Newton, Earnhardt Chevrolet, Newton, North Carolina.
You know, maybe we'll have to take a pilgrimage to take it home,
Yeah.
just to say, hey,
They might come out and say, "Ooh,
ooh, love what you did with it. I
yeah,
hope.
we want it back."
Yeah. Oh, by the way, horn still works. Just push Chevy.
Ah, so it's a little one there. Okay.
Yeah.
The answer's that question. I had that question in my head, so.
Well, you want to see the goods underneath? Or
Sure,
You know how to do that part.
Yeah, oh yeah. Been a while. Ooh, pretty.
Right.
Never looked like that before.
Well, it's all shiny on account of all the oil that got sprayed all over it. To go through all that trouble and have it twice puke oil everywhere. And something that viewers may or may not be aware of if they follow me on social media. So the dipstick down over there.
Down there with a thumb.
Yeah, because
screw.
I had to change out the original one because it just wouldn't go around the headers and all that kind of stuff. Well, anyway, that fit in really loose and it blew out on my first test drive, seating in the rings, and sprayed oil all over this side of the engine. So I put that lock nut on there.
Yep.
So that'll hold it in place, and I either didn't drill or tap it straight. I'm disappointed about that, but it does the job, which holds the
That's
dipstick
the main
in.
thing, yep.
So I got that part solved. So I went out for a second test drive. And then what used to be the breather over here, and I got this one from Summit just today. But by the way, Summit really stepped up with this truck. I mean,
Yeah, when I was following on Instagram, I see a lot of things mentioned about Summit. You were showing all the part numbers, and that was great.
You might as well call it a Summit truck. But anyway, they got this out to me today, which I'm very grateful for, because before that I had a different style of breather and it wasn't sufficient. So I got on it again. The dipstick didn't blow out, but the breather blew out, hit the hood, and went on the side of the road. Luckily I was able to find it again, so I could drive it around today until I got that. But instead of a throttle body injection like what, oh yeah, you're looking at the stains. Instead of throttle body injection, which is what you did have, it's now multi-port injection.
Multi-port, okay. That would be much better to try to adjust or tune or anything.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's individual cylinders and all that kind of stuff, but the problem is that there's only one air fuel sensor and it's down in a common pipe. So you have the ability to control the cylinders more closely, but no way to monitor.
Ah, okay.
So it's kind of it seems like a wash to me. It seems like a system like this should have come with two O2 sensors, so you could monitor each bank, and if one bank is lean or rich or something like that, you can adjust for it.
Tweak it, yeah.
But I was able to clean up the idle just before I came and got you quite a bit. It wasn't bad before, but it was a little shaky. So I went into the computer and I did the idle adjustment procedure, and that smoothed it right out. And I also made it a little richer at idle.
Oh, it looks great. Different master cylinder.
You got different master cylinder, and I think one of the things you'll be impressed by is how the brakes work now, because I hated the brakes when I had.
Yeah, I always had to be careful, especially when I was towing.
Very careful.
If I was towing a boat,
Yes.
it was like, better think of when you're going to stop.
Yeah, like way ahead of time. You
Yeah.
couldn't panic stop the truck for nothing.
It was like trying to stop a boat.
Yeah. Exactly.
Reverse.
Yeah. Where's the brakes? Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Do you want to put it up in the air? We can do that now.
Yeah, could do that. I'd like to look under it.
All right, let's do that. Speaking of cruise control, I had to take it off for now.
Never worked.
It never worked? That's good to know.
It didn't for me because it was cruise control for a stick. So I don't know if there was a clutch switch somewhere.
There is a clutch switch that's bypassed in order to start the truck. In fact, I left it in there that way because I didn't want to have to mess with it, because the wires going into that clutch switch are meaty wires. They're like bigger than a cell.
So somewhere in there was probably the kick down on the cruise.
Well, it probably never worked because
It never did when I've had it.
Well, cruise is set to kick off when you push in the clutch. So right now the clutch switch is depressed so you can start it.
Ah, well, that'll give you a hint in case you ever decide to do
in
it.
case I ever do, I gotta bypass
It's you gotta. I tried to give you the information that I knew, but I must have forgot to tell you that. The disc brakes got to make a lot of difference.
Well, I mean, I'm not a hater of drum brakes like some people.
No,
I mean,
but they never quite worked right. I didn't know if it was the age, because I mean, kept it good, but it had a lot of miles originally. I'd say it probably had about the mileage that 350 I've got behind the 51 sitting there out of the old Suburban. That's got probably about the same mileage at 77 block.
Oh.
I got the whole thing.
This truck has the same mileage as a 77 block?
I'd say right around there, yeah.
How so? Like you had like 500,000 miles on that thing, didn't you?
Don't know, the speedometer broke twice, and after a while I just winged it and drove it. It's the 373s, right?
373s in the back there.
That should give you a little better roadability with it.
Yeah, and then the overdrive in the transmission makes up for it, so it's not too terrible on the highway. So that's your exhaust cutout
exhaust
right there.
cutout right there.
Yeah, and that's what rattles.
Oh, that's cute.
You'll hear it rattle.
Yeah.
But what you can't see here is, I replaced the fuel filter, but inside this fuel tank, there's an Aeromotive fuel pump.
Fuel pump for the fuel injection?
Yeah, there's a high performance one. So I'm not a fan of General Motors fuel pumps from this era as it is, but it now has an upgraded one.
So that's got a supply and return or something like that?
It's the exact same supply and return that you had.
Okay.
I just changed the lines and the fittings going into the engine. That's all that's different. But yeah, it's got a return and a supply.
Very nice. Looks very good.
Yeah,
Put in a lot of hours and a lot of work in this.
Yeah, I started in January and I just finished today. Right?
Yeah.
And I really can't call it finished because obviously there's still some oil
Yeah,
leaks.
you never can call them finished.
No.
Gave you a halfway decent start.
Oh, heck yeah. Like just the fact that I didn't have to torch every bolt to get it out. So much of the stuff came apart because you took such good care of it. I was thanking you.
And the other fellow that I bought it from, because he was the second owner, I believe.
Yeah, he drove a lot with the windows down and he had a dog. I know this because I had the carpet and stuff. There was a lot of dog inside
Was there?
that dash.
Yeah.
Yes.
That might have been the first owner, because this one he had kids, and that's why he decided to pass it on, because he got one little scratch on the door, and I think they put their finger in the headliner or something, and he wanted to preserve it, and he knew that I would do that. So, because he went to school down in Charlotte, so he bought it used.
I wonder what do you think of it now?
I don't know. I sent him an email, and I don't know if I have the right address. It's been 3 years, so I sent him an email and told him where to look it up. So whether he has or whether the email ever got to him, I don't know. No, it looks very good. It looks like new under here.
Yeah, I painted everything. Everything's been painted. I didn't do a great job of painting it. I just went through the wire brush
It
to
looks pretty darn good.
get some stuff off it, but yeah. What do you want to drive it?
Yeah, sounds good to me. Not used to closing this without a rag. You know, let's just put the rag on here.
If you want, I can get you a rag.
Yeah, it's done now. Looks good though, excellent.
Glad you like it, Dad.
Yeah,
Let's drive it.
that sounds like a plan.
All right, Dad, before we head out, I'm going to show you right back here behind the seat is a fire extinguisher.
Cool.
And this is not a chemical type. It's a Halgard. So in other words, you can spray it on the engine and it won't cover it with a bunch of junk. But I've been keeping it right here behind the seat.
Yep, good spot.
Seems like the easiest place. So yeah, if you need this in an emergency, it's right here from H&R Performance. Now you don't push the gas pedal, you just start it up. Yeah, it's in. The stick is up higher too. I adjusted it, so the shifter's actually up a little higher. I should tighten that belt.
You want to do that?
No, it's fine.
Sounds good. You can tell it's got a little cam to it. I can tell on the seat of my pants.
A little bit.
Yeah. Sounds real good. Alrighty, want me to back her out?
Yep, I'll close the door and I'll meet you out there.
Okay, I'll try to miss everything. Yeah, that one goes into gear a little better.
That 1-2 shift will kick you in the pants, so don't be alarmed. That first shift is where we're coming out. It happens really early, but it's like boom.
That's all right.
But it might seem alarming, but no, it's just how it shifts.
Yeah, this I was always going to put the new rubbers in and never did.
I'll get there at some point. I agree that it does need to be done.
It'll keep the water out of the door, but I didn't drive in the rain that much, so shouldn't have done too much damage to her. Steering seems a little tighter. It was fairly loose before.
it's still, and I don't know if that's the rag joint or what, but
Yeah, rag joints make a difference in them.
Yeah.
I adjusted that adjustment on it a little once,
And
but
I
didn't.
adjusted it because it was too
I don't
tight.
want to go too tight.
It was too tight. So I backed it off a little bit. I was thinking about just putting a new steering box in and
But rag joints, they say, help
rag joint will help a lot.
a lot.
I mean,
because it's
what?
stiffer.
Yeah, it's like 30 years old.
Yeah, it's got 180,000 on it. So they get soft.
Yeah. I think that's what the play is because the entire steering is new. It's got a new idler arm, new pitman arm, new inner and outer tie rods. The only thing I didn't replace was the center link.
Oh yeah, you don't. You still got a lot of pedal left. Before I was down closer to the floor. Yeah, purrs along nice.
Right? So you can drive it like a normal person. But I can tell you when you mat it, it's a different truck. And I'm not saying you have to, because that's oil for me to clean up.
Yeah,
But still, I don't mind. Just to see the look on your face. But you're driving. How about the ride?
It's I wouldn't call it stiffer. It's more accurate, or
Yeah.
good handling.
It's still weirdly mushy. It's not like it was, but it feels a little smushy to me. It's not like the Fairmont's set up to be tight.
Yeah.
This is a lot looser than that is. Let's be that guy. Oh, wrong way. Right?
Yeah.
But then you just click it the other way.
Yeah. That's better.
Right?
For the moment, yeah.
I know.
Trying to get used to where things are. Speedometer, it's 55 here, and it's starting to pick up a few.
That's a them problem. I say you can drive as fast or as slow as you want.
Yeah, I've got to get used to stuff before I try pushing anything.
Oh, I get it. You should be used to it after this trip.
Yeah.
We got air too.
That's nice.
Right? Oh, I forgot to tell you, inside this vent, like you saw that insulation, it was stuck inside of that.
Yeah, it was coming out of it.
Well,
Powdery.
This whole center vent, that was the seal, and it was all gone. So these center vents weren't working at all. So I went in there with some, HVAC tape, fixed all the gaps, and now it actually blows out the center vent.
Blows out of there, huh?
Right? I'm proud of that. And that air's nice and cold too.
Where's the adjustment on it? It's still up and down for heat and cool.
Everything else is the same.
Yeah, it's been a while, so I got to remember. You got
It's the
fan
fan.
speed or whatever.
And then there's the feed or the... But either way, it feels, to me, completely solid to do the trip we got to do.
Yep.
Just have to keep an eye on the oil, which won't be a problem. Just check it every morning. We're on extra.
Yeah, I got to get used to what I'm looking for all the gauges, where they are. That's
Well,
bolts.
I set warning lights. So if there's something you got to worry about, warning light will come up.
So oil pressure and
All of
stuff.
it.
Okay.
Yeah. So when you first start it up, you'll notice them too. Like if you shut it off and the ignition's on, the oil pressure light will be on. So, but red lights will come on when things aren't what they're supposed to be.
I got to get used to not hearing that exhaust leak.
That was a little more than an exhaust leak. I called that the mummy muffler because it had so much of that muffler tape on it that was coming off. It looked like a mummy. So yeah, there was
Seemed to
nothing
work,
on
so I put more on it so you could get it back down without it blowing apart.
Yeah, I was really happy to take a sawzall with that exhaust, trust me. All right, we're almost back to the shop. You think this is going to work for you?
Well, it's going to work for me. Whether you'll ever get it back or not, I don't know.
That's fine. Dad, seriously, if you wanted to take this truck and drive it, go ahead.
No, I'm good.
Seriously, I got the Fairmont.
I know.
I built this truck. It's called Dad's truck.
Yeah.
So literally, if you want to drive this, drive it. Enjoy it.
I'll enjoy it on the tour. How's that?
Okay. But if you're not sick of it by the end of the tour,
okay.
and you're thinking to yourself, man, I kind of regret giving him that truck. Well, take it. I'm good.
Yeah, you should have told me that before I traded vehicles. Now I got more money into it, so you could have left the other one.
Well, I'm just saying. It's Dad's truck. And if Dad wants to drive the truck, Dad drives the truck.
Dad drives the truck. Fair enough.
Well, Dad, does it meet your standards? Do you approve?
Mine.
That is a yes.
That sums it up in one word, mine. I want it back.
Well, you know, I had the thought, you know, you've had that 51 for my entire life and longer than that, and I'm thinking that's pretty much sat in the garage and you've never really had the opportunity to take something like this that was close to finish and do anything like we're doing with the Power Tour. So that was kind of my goal the whole time in my mind. I wasn't really thinking of me driving this. The whole time I'm doing this truck, I'm thinking, I wonder what Dad's going to think. Because you had it for a while. You drove it.
Yeah, I had it for 11,
how many years?
11 or 12 years.
So you had it for 12 years. So you know the truck better than anybody knows the truck. And to get it back like this, I was looking for the best.
It turned out wonderful. It's great.
I'm very happy to hear that you like it.
I'm very happy too. I'm happy to see that it went to a good home and it'll be passed on down the line someday.
Indeed it will. You can't take it with you, right?
Nope.
Anyway.
Well, I could, but the plot isn't big enough, so.
Well, I mean, if that's what you want, Dad, we'll work it out.
It's supposed to be a container, but I think this is a little big.
Yeah, well, it's not the size of your container. Never mind. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the series with Dad's truck. It has now come to a close. We're going to go on the Hot Rod Power Tour tomorrow morning. Today is June 6, 2019, by the way. And maybe we'll come back to a recap, whatever, when all is said and done. But I'm very happy to hear that Dad is happy with the truck and the work that I did, and I hope you enjoyed the videos, and I hope those of you with GMT 400 pickup trucks were able to get useful information out of all the things I did to this truck. If you have automotive questions, I ask you to head to EricTheCarGuy.com. That will be linked in the description along with a bunch of other stuff, including all the videos, or a playlist of the videos of this truck if you want to see where it started, and well, this would be the conclusion, I guess. So, thanks, Dad.
Good job, son.
Thank you.
Love you. Love you too. Great job.